Hello.
Hello.
What's the weather like today there in Hanoi? Is it warm?
The weather in Hanoi today very nice. It's
Is it
cool.
Oh, is it cool? Okay. Right. Okay, so we're going to continue with this lesson where we stopped the previous time.
And first of all, I'm very sorry because last Friday, no, yesterday, after yesterday, right? Before yesterday, I
Yeah.
forgot that I should inform you because we have a party at the company at the Friday night, and then I couldn't attend the class.
Okay, I understand. It's fine. It's no problem. I know it's the end
And
of the week, and
yeah,
Friday is usually a difficult day. And one is working hard through the week, and at the end of the week, there's all sorts of stuff happening at the office. So I understand that.
yeah.
No issue.
It's my phone because I need to inform you before. But do you know that on that day there were a lot of events
Okay.
come concurrently? Yeah,
Okay.
I would like to share with you that I have to, how to say, met a lot of people uh at different points of times. So
All
it's
right.
everything very messy.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play you the audio so you can listen to the story again. And then once we've listened to the story, I want you to tell me the story by using the sequence word. Listen carefully how she used the sequence words while she's talking. Well, and then in the beginning, so anyway, before long, and then all of a sudden, the next thing she knew, and then finally. So listen how she uses the sequence words so you can retell the story afterwards. Okay, are you ready?
Okay. Okay,
Are you ready to
please.
are you ready to listen?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Unit 2, Recording 8. Okay, so tell me all about it.
Well, in the beginning, I was at home and this was just.
Unit 2, Recording 8. Okay, so tell me all about it.
Well, in the beginning, I was at home and this was just one morning before a very important interview. And I didn't feel well, so my mother had given me some pills. And then I didn't think anything more about it. So anyway, I then got on to the tube to go for my interview.
Right, and what happened then?
Well, clearly I must have fallen asleep, so I wasn't feeling great by this time. And I'm starting to feel sleepy, so I'm thinking I must have fallen asleep. Anyway, I was getting some funny looks even before I fell asleep. But anyway, I fell asleep, and then I realised before long I must have been having a dream, I suppose, about my mother. All of a sudden, I've woken up, but I haven't just woken up. I've woken up shouting the word "Mum"
No, you're joking.
at the top of my voice in a packed, quiet tube.
Oh, no.
Yes, and everybody's staring at me, and that did not help matters. Anyway, I've got off the tube and I've then arrived at my interview, put all that behind me. I'm still not feeling 100% perfect, but nevertheless, arrived at my interview on time and go in and think, actually, this is going rather well. They're not saying an awful lot, and come to think of it, they're looking at me in a rather strange way.
Right, then what?
Well, the next thing I knew, I have left the interview and said, thank you very much for seeing me, blah-de-blah, and gone to the ladies' room. And there in the mirror, I could see what everybody was looking at and why they couldn't say anything.
What was it?
My face had swollen up and it
No
was
way.
bright red
No.
and covered in blotches, spots.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yes, and the pills that my mother had given me were so out of date that they had caused an allergic reaction.
Oh, how embarrassing.
I know.
Okay. So can you retell the story now by using these sequence words that she used?
So I need to act as the woman and then tell the story, right?
Yes, you need to look at the pictures. The pictures are in sequence now. So this picture B is the first picture, picture A is the second picture, picture C is the third picture, picture D is the fourth picture. And now you can use these pictures as a guideline and then use the sequence words like she used it to retell the story.
I need to use her name is SS, right?
Yeah, you can just tell the story. You can just tell the story as you heard it. Just tell me the story.
Okay. One day before interview, she felt not well, and her mother gave her some pills. And then she moved to the interview, and but the people beside the guy beside her looked her very strangely, and then when she came into the interview room, she started feel sleepy and almost fall asleep. And then everyone staring at her and look at her at a strange way. Then everything went before long. Sorry, I need to come back to the picture C. Then at the beginning, everything come through quite smooth, but when she found that people staring at her and look at her at a strange way, and then of a sudden she come into the restroom and then look at the mirror. The next thing she knew, her face become undry, right? I cannot.
Her face was swollen up.
So her face become
Her face was swollen up.
Swollen up.
Yeah, let me write it for you.
Okay.
Her face was swollen up. She saw it in the mirror. Her face was swollen.
Her face was swollen up.
Swollen up.
At the mirror.
Yeah, she saw in the mirror that her face was swollen up and that she had bloodshot red spots on her face.
Yeah.
And
finally, what does she do finally?
That was just embarrassed. Okay, so I want you to tell me the story if you are the woman. So you must imagine now that you are this woman, right? You are this woman here. And then I want you to tell me the story by using these sequence words.
Okay. Well, on that day when before my interview with the new company, before leaving home, I feel not very well, and my mother gave me some pills, but I and then I left home and went by train to the interview. However, the man beside me look at me staring at me, and at that time I didn't know and what happened to me. When I saw anyway before long.
Okay, let me help you a bit. Right.
Mm.
So I will tell you the story as I heard it. So one day I had an interview. Before the interview, I went to see my mother, and my mother saw that I wasn't feeling well. So she gave me some pills to drink. So anyway, I got into the tube, and as I was on the tube, before long, I was feeling asleep. I was falling asleep. After a while, all of a sudden, I woke up, and I think I woke up by screaming my mother's name on top of my lungs. So the next thing I knew, I was walking into the interview. The two men that I had the interview with were looking very strangely at me. They didn't ask much, and I excused myself after a while. So after I said thank you for having the meeting with them, I went into the ladies' room and looked into the mirror, and I was very surprised to see that my face was swollen up and that I had bloodshot red spots on my face.
Okay.
Something
great.
like that.
Thank you.
Okay, can you try again?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Still try again? Okay.
Yeah.
One day I had a meeting, and before the meeting, my mother found that I'm not very well, so she gave me some pills, and I start at the beginning. When I went by train, the man beside me staring at me, and I start. Before long, I started feels very sleepy, and then all of the sudden, when I came to the interview, the two men look at me at a very strange way, and I also I fall asleep, and the next thing I knew, how to say,
I woke up.
I wake up. Yes, the next thing I knew, I wake up and finally, the interview was finishing, and I run out to the restroom, and then I was very surprised to find that my face became swollen up, and that is very impressive day.
Okay, all right, well done. Right, not
Thank you.
bad. Let's move
Yeah.
on. Okay, so do you think the woman was telling a true or a false story?
Mm.
The story that she told her friend, what happened to her that day when she was feeling sick on the way to the interview, do you think that story is a true story, or do you think it's a false story? Do you think she was telling the truth, or do you think she lied?
Okay.
What do you think?
Ask if they.
the story that the woman told, how she felt the day during an interview, the day on the interview. Was that story that she told, was it a true story, or did she tell a lie?
I'm not sure. I need to listen first.
But we've listened now a couple of times to this story.
Ask
The story, she said that she was with her mother. She was on the way to the interview. She wasn't feeling well. Her mother gave her some pills. Then she got onto the tube. She fell asleep on the tube. The man was looking strangely at her. All of a sudden, she woke up after she held her mother's name out on top of her lungs. And then she went into the interview. The next thing she knew, she went into the interview. She had the interview. That whole story. So do you think that was the truth, or do you think she told a lie?
I feel that is not the truth.
I also don't think so. I think it is a lie. Right, okay. Right, let's learn how to show interest. So let's look at the phrases A to J, like these phrases. What happened then? This is how the man replied while she was telling him what happened that day. That is how the man replied while he was listening to her. So while she was telling the story, he said, "What happened then?
Happened then.
What did you do? Then what? Oh no." This is always how he replied. "Oh dear. How embarrassing. That's really funny. Really? You're joking. You're kidding."
Really? You're joking. You're kidding.
Yeah. So that is how the man replied while she was telling the story. Let's see how he showed interest while listening to her. Okay, so keep this in mind. This is how, while you are listening to someone telling you a story, this is how you can show interest while somebody is telling you a story, by using these remarks. What happened then? What did you do? Then what? Oh no, oh dear, how embarrassing, and so forth. Right, let's read. And then we're going to put in the replies at the right place.
So
Okay, so
anyway,
So the woman was saying, yeah,
so anyway, I then got onto the to go for my interview. Right. And what happened? What happened then?
all right.
I was waken up shouting the word, "Mom, no, you are kidding.
Or you're joking.
You are joking.
Yes.
You're joking." At the top of my voice, in a packed, quiet tube. Oh no.
All right.
They looking at me in a rather strange way.
Then the man said, right.
Right. Then what? Really?
Then what?
Then what? Okay. My face had swollen what? And it's bright red and covered in broad spots.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Oh, you're kidding.
kidding. Yeah, I heard. You're kidding. Yes, And the pills that my mother had given me was so out of date that they had caused an allergic reaction.
Allergic.
Oh, allergic.
Yeah,
Allergic.
allergic.
Allergic. Allergic. Oh, oh,
Oh dear,
oh dear.
I think.
No,
Oh, how
how
embarrassing.
how embarrassing.
Okay,
How
right.
embarrassing. Yeah, yeah. How embarrassing.
Okay, so the
Embarrassing.
key point here is this is how you can show interest while you are listening to somebody by using phrases like these. By using phrases like these. You
So what should
understand?
I do now?
No, you don't have to do anything. I'm just telling you something. So you can show, while you are listening to somebody telling you a story, you can show interest. You can show that person that you are interested in the story that he or she is telling you by using phrases like these.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so that is the key. That is the key point here. Right. Now let's listen and check your answers. Okay, so we've done this exercise now. Now we're going to listen to this audio again and then listen to how the man is using these replies. Okay.
Unit 2, Recording 10. 1.
So anyway, I then got on to the tube to go for my interview.
Right, and what happened then?
2.
I've woken up shouting the word "Mum!"
No, you're joking.
3.
at the top of my voice in a packed, quiet tube.
Oh no.
4.
They're looking at me in a rather strange way.
Right, then what?
5.
My face had swollen up and it was bright red and covered in blotches, spots.
Oh, you're kidding.
6.
Yes, and the pills that my mother had given me were so out of date that they had caused an allergic reaction.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Okay. Right. So do you get a good idea now how he is showing interest in what she's telling him? Hello?
So what should I do now?
No, you shouldn't do anything. I'm just saying, do you get a good idea how he showed interest in what she was telling him? All right. Okay. Right. Let's do this activity. Right. So let's read this first phrase.
Optional activity.
So I got on the bus to work and saw an old friend who I hadn't seen for 7 years. Now, I'm going to read this, and then you must show interest in what I'm telling you by using remarks like this, by using these remarks. By using these remarks. What happened then? Or what did you do? Or then what? Oh no, oh dear, how embarrassing. That's really funny. Really? You're joking, you're kidding. Okay, so see how many of these remarks you can use. Okay. Right. Okay, so I got onto the bus to work and saw an old friend who I hadn't seen for years.
Then what?
Okay, good. I sat down next to her and I said, "Hi, how are the things with you? How are things with you?"
Um, how embarrassing.
She looked at me. She looked at me a bit strangely, but replied, "Fine, thanks."
Oh, really?
I asked her, "How's your brother these days?"
Uh, that's really funny.
She said, "Fine, thanks, but do I know you?"
Oh no.
I realized I'd made a mistake and I didn't know her.
How embarrassing.
Okay, very good. Brilliant. Excellent. Well done. Right. Let's practice some speaking. Now, prepare to tell a story. It can be either true or it can be a lie. Choose one of the situations below and then talk about when you got stuck in a lift, or when you missed a flight, or when you lost something valuable, or when you spoke to someone famous, or when you got a tattoo, or when you went swimming at night, or when you were mistaken for someone else, or when you slept outside, or when you tried a very dangerous sport, or when you found something unusual. So you can choose any one of these and then prepare a story to tell, then tell a story about it. And like I said, it can be true or it can be false. It can be a lie. I will give you like 3 or 4 minutes to prepare your story, and then I would like to listen to your story.
Okay.
You can start whenever you are ready.
Okay.
Right.
I can start now.
Yes, you can.
Well, I remember I remember one day I was at the airport very early, honestly, and at that time, I feel very comfortable and in control everything. And I had the check-in and went through the past security and the security, and even I found the gate, the right gate, and then I was sitting before the gate, and plus how to say surfing my internet on my phone.
Sorry, excuse me. Can I just interrupt you here? While you are telling the story, try to use as many of these sequence words. Like, well, in the beginning, so anyway, before long, and then all of a sudden, the next thing I knew. I forgot to
Okay,
tell.
I tried to use it, and I
I for-
already use
Okay.
well, and at the beginning.
All right. Sorry, I forgot to tell you that.
Okay,
Right.
I know.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Okay,
Sorry, start again.
I start again.
Yes, please. Yeah.
I want to tell a story what that I almost or I nearly missed a flight. One day I was at the airport very early, and at that time, at the beginning, I felt very comfortable because I already checked in and passed security, and I also found my gate, with and reserved the time to spare. Before long, I was surfing internet on my phone, and I even took a coffee for until boarding time. The next thing I knew that everyone who went into the gate, and no, I'm sorry. The next thing I knew that everyone who's still sitting for waiting boarding. Meanwhile, I looked into my watch. The time for boarding nearly started, and finally I check again, that if I was at the right gate or not. Oh dear, it turned out, when I checked with the staff, the airline staff, I know that they already changed the gate, and and at that time I was very hurry, and ran into the right way, and finally I still boarding on time, but it made me very tired.
Yes. Okay. Well done. Excellent. Okay. Very
Okay,
good.
thank you.
Yes. Well done. You've done a great job. Okay. Right. So think about the details of your story. Think about the questions below, and then make some notes or practicing telling your story. So keep that story that you've just told in mind. Okay. Because I like that story that you've just told. Where were you? You were at the airport. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Why were you there?
Mm.
Because you were flying to Ho Chi Minh for a meeting.
Mm.
What were you doing? You were busy boarding your flight, or you were trying to find the right gate so you can board your flight. Is that right? Okay, what happened? And that's what what you told. And then how did you feel at the end? And you mentioned that you felt tired afterwards. All right. So you actually used all these questions, you answered all these questions while you were telling your story. So I don't think you have to retell it. Okay, let's move on. Right. Okay, now I'm going to be the student, and then I will read this, and then I want you to reply to me. I once got stuck in a lift. I was so scared. Now you can reply.
It was so scared. Really? I once got stuck in a lift. I was so scared. What happened?
The lift just suddenly stopped while I was in it. I didn't know if the electricity went off in the building or actually what happened. I was just stuck inside. And then you ask?
What did you do to get out of there?
I pressed the emergency button inside the lift, and after about 10 minutes, the electricity came on and the lift started to move again.
Oh, really?
Okay. Right, very good. Okay, now we're going to practice this. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you. Now we swap around. Okay. Now you can tell me the story. You start with this one.
I once got stuck in a lift. I was so scared.
Really? What happened?
And then I put in a emergency how to say emergency
No, but
rank.
listen now. I'm asking you this question. I'm asking you, what happened? Now you must tell me what happened.
Maybe something wrong. Maybe something wrong, and I cannot get out. I cannot get out of the lift.
So what did you think went wrong?
The electricity was cut. They cut the electricity, and the lift doesn't work.
Oh no. What did you do to get out of there?
I sit down and I call my husband to call to ask the security to help me, and then I silently sit and waiting.
Okay.
And
all right.
finally, yes. Finally the lift was fixed, and then I get out safely.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So is your story true or is it a lie?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's a lie.
Okay. All right. Okay. Right. Okay, Mr. Duendang, we are finished with this lesson. So let's just go through your homework. You can practice to write a story you told in exercise 7C. So you can practice to write the story that you've told in exercise 7C. You remember the story that you told that you were at the airport, you were on your way to Ho Chi Minh for a business meeting, and you were trying to find the gate that you were supposed to board, and then when you spoke to the staff, you realized that you were at the wrong boarding gate, and then you had to quickly rush to another boarding gate, and eventually you found the right boarding gate and you boarded your plane, but you were very tired after all that scurril. Right, so you can practice to write that story, or you can choose a different situation to write a story. And then the language bank is exercise 2.3, extension A on page 131. And then in your workbook, your exercises are exercises 1 to 3 on page 13. So that is your homework for this lesson. All right. Any questions, Ms. Ledang?
I still want to know the link, any link you suggest for me to practice more listening, and then I can speaking better.
Yeah, I can't send you any links, Ms. Luendang. What I've showed you last time is what I don't have any links for listening
I
exercises.
cannot find the right lesson, the link, because you just copy and screenshot, send the screenshot, and then when I type the keyword,
Yeah, I
it's
think what you should do is you should talk to the staff members of iGEMS and ask them if they can send you some material or you can practice listening. Because
iChance.
they must have some material. I don't have it. I don't have such material. So I don't have any links that I can send you.
Okay, I will
But
ask them.
But I think if you speak to the staff members at iGEMS, they must have got some sort of exercises with that they can suggest to you, or that they maybe can send to you to help you.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much.
All right. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.